You see, there's no artist, let me be clear, there's no artist in this industry that's doing major numbers with these platforms that haven't sold their soul.
Yes, the air is buzzing with drama, and this time, it ain't just music shaking the industry. Rihanna, the fearless mogul and global superstar, just flipped the game upside down. Not with a fire track, but with claims so wild, they got the whole industry whispering behind closed doors. And this ain't no petty beef. This is legendary.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a lot of things. She's spectacular, actually.
Yes.
And congratulations on new mamahood.
Yes.
Beyoncé and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against them.
Rihanna is allegedly coming for none other than the royal couple of hip-hop, Beyoncé and Jay-Z, plus their tight-knit pal Diddy. She used to idolize Beyoncé. Now she's accusing them of running something way more twisted behind the scenes. What in the world happened? Once upon a time, Rihanna was just a bright-eyed girl from Barbados who landed a dream deal with Jay-Z's Rockefeller Records at only 17. She came in as a fan, head over heels for Queen Bee. Rihanna even held onto a sweet handwritten letter from Beyoncé, a sign of how much she looked up to her. But somewhere down the road, something changed. Whispers started floating around that as Rihanna's fame soared, things between her and Beyoncé got icy. At first, people said it was jealousy, maybe some industry rivalry. But now, with these latest claims, it's sounding way more sinister. Rihanna ain't holding back. She's reportedly telling people her rise in the music biz wasn't all glitz and glam. Behind those red carpets and flashing cameras, she says it was cold, calculated, even dangerous. And here's where jaws hit the floor. Rihanna says Jay-Z wasn't just guiding her career. According to her, he crossed serious lines. She claims he made advances toward her back when she was still a teenager. The most chilling part? Rihanna says he locked her in his office and wouldn't let her out until she signed her contract.
You know, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck hard.
That part of the indictment, that's somewhat like a blackmail. He was blackmailing people to be in the freak-offs. So that's federal. That could be that's a federal charge. He can't blackmail people to say, yo, listen here, you did it once and you're going to do it again. That ain't going to make it with the government or nobody.
That's not mentorship. That's manipulation, straight up. If that's true, it changes everything we thought we knew about one of music's most powerful men. Rihanna's stepping forward like she's got nothing to lose. And if these claims stick, they could blow the whole empire wide open. A lot of people put Beyoncé on a pedestal, but Rihanna, she's saying the truth, looks real different behind the spotlight. According to Rihanna, Beyoncé ain't the empowering queen she plays on stage. Far from it. Rihanna claims Bey straight up ignored her pain. And even worse, that both Beyoncé and Jay-Z tried to pressure her into attending what she described as freak-off parties thrown by none other than Diddy himself. Let that sink in, freak-offs. These secret parties have been whispered about in industry corners for years. Private events hosted by Diddy, where the lines between wild and downright disturbing allegedly get crossed. And if Rihanna's story checks out, Beyoncé wasn't just standing by. She was in on it. Rihanna thought she could trust her. She reportedly opened up to Beyoncé, looking for support, maybe even some protection. But what did she get in return? Cold betrayal. She wasn't a girl's girl, Rihanna supposedly said. A crushing truth from someone who once worshipped the ground Bey walked on. And then there's the infamous cheesecake incident, a moment fans thought was just another weird MTV stunt. Until the truth started leaking out. Freddie P., who was in Diddy's group from that old MTV reality show, dropped a bombshell recently. Remember when Diddy made his group walk for hours to get cheesecake? Well, it wasn't even for him. Freddie says that cheesecake was actually for Beyoncé, who was chilling upstairs while they suffered in the streets. That changes everything. It wasn't just Diddy playing games. Beyoncé was allegedly benefiting from it too. Freddie even called it one of the first red flags that showed Diddy's twisted ways. But now fans are asking, if Beyoncé was enjoying that moment of humiliation, how deep does her role go in this toxic celebrity circle Rihanna's calling out? And just when you think it couldn't get any messier, there's the baby story. This one comes from rapper Diddy, who claims he ended up at one of Diddy's notorious parties. But what really threw him off? He says he walked into a private meeting where Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Diddy were posted up, and that Beyoncé allegedly tried to seduce him. This next claim? It might be unconfirmed, but it's adding serious heat to the fire surrounding Beyoncé's rumored role in those freak-off parties.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he had to, he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a halfway house. Responsibility for what he did as an individual. Sean is the one who pulled that gun out. Sean is the one who shot. So he has to take responsibility for that. He put that gun back in his...
It's got people asking why Beyoncé and Diddy always seemed unusually tight, even though they rarely worked together publicly. Could these parties be the missing link explaining that strange connection? Folks are side-eyeing now more than ever. But it gets even messier. Rihanna's not just calling out bad behavior. She's saying it cost her. Sources close to the drama believe that when Rihanna said no to attending those wild parties, she didn't just get shunned. She got sabotaged. Remember Rihanna's album ANTI? Critics loved it, but the rollout, a total disaster. The whole album leaked early on, TIDAL, and guess who owns TIDAL? Yep, Jay-Z. The leak forced Rihanna to drop it in a rush, messing with the momentum and possibly hurting the album's full impact. Meanwhile, Beyoncé dropped Lemonade and got the red carpet treatment.
Jay-Z got his put by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You gotta imagine. The feds ain't step in and do nothing. The feds don't care about you getting your ass whooped.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men.
Promotion everywhere. Headlines nonstop. Fans have long suspected it wasn't a coincidence. And now, with these new allegations, it's starting to feel like someone might have pulled strings to slow Rihanna down while propping Queen Bee up. And don't think this feud stayed in the shadows. Beyoncé's track Bow Down raised eyebrows when it dropped. People said the lyrics were too pointed, like she was sending a warning shot straight at Rihanna. That line about others needing to bow down hit different in this context. Rihanna? She didn't stay quiet. She clapped back on socials, posting sleek photos with captions crowning herself the real queen. No names were dropped, but the shade was crystal clear. She even questioned Beyoncé's so-called authenticity, sparking a whole wave of fan theories and decoded posts. Things reached a boiling point at the title press conference, a moment that should have been about unity. But insiders say the vibes were ice cold. Word is their teams had everything staged down to the second just to make sure Rihanna and Beyoncé didn't cross paths. Not even a fake smile. Not a single word exchanged. And now, the public is waking up. Rihanna's no longer just a singer. She's a billion-dollar businesswoman thanks to Fenty. She doesn't need the industry anymore. And that freedom's got her talking like never before. She's risking it all, calling out the biggest names in the game without flinching. The internet is on fire. Hashtags like Sharka Team Rihanna and Expose. The truth are blowing up as people across the globe start demanding answers from the biggest names in the music game. But one question is echoing louder than all the rest. What's gonna happen now? Will Rihanna's bold claims crack open a deeper reckoning in the industry? Or will the massive power of Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Diddy keep the truth buried under millions of dollars and silence? Right now, all eyes are locked in, waiting for the next twist in this explosive saga. A story straight out of a Hollywood thriller. And trust this, it's only getting wilder. What happens when power gets challenged? When a megastar like Rihanna refuses to bow down and play by the rules of the elite? You get fallout, and it's cold-blooded. This didn't end with a few shady looks and industry snubs. Nah. What insiders are now saying paints a chilling picture. One full of secret moves, loyalty traded for power, and a system that punishes anyone who doesn't fall in line. The moment Rihanna pushed back, allegedly refusing those shady invites to Diddy's freak-off scenes, that's when it all shifted. Word on the street is Beyoncé and Jay-Z didn't just walk away. They went to work against her. The clearest sign? The leak of Rihanna's ANTI album. Let's rewind to 2016. Hype was building. Fans were waiting. Rihanna was set to deliver one of her boldest records ever. And then, boom, the whole album leaks online. But here's the kicker. It leaked on TIDAL. And who owns TIDAL? Jay-Z. That's no small detail. The music world still debates whether it was just a mistake or something way more intentional. But the timing? Suspect? The impact? Devastating. While Rihanna scrambled to pick up the pieces and rush out the release, Beyoncé's Lemonade dropped like a bomb. Her team went into full beast mode. Videos, billboards, streaming deals, the whole 9 yards. In its first week, Lemonade cleared over 600,000 in sales. Rihanna's ANTI barely broke 100K, even with rave reviews. The emotional weight Rihanna carried through all this? Heavy doesn't even cover it. Imagine pouring every ounce of your soul into your music, only to watch it get undercut by the very people you once looked up to like royalty. And still, she didn't fold. Rihanna stood tall and let her talent do the talking. Even with all the mess surrounding Anti, she delivered bangers like Work and Needed Me that took over the charts. That album didn't just survive, it thrived. It became a full-blown cultural reset. But that kind of betrayal, it doesn't just go away. The scars stayed. Fans started picking up on Rihanna's long break from music and asking the real question. Did the drama push her away from the spotlight? Was that the moment Rihanna decided she was done playing their game and instead built her own? Because that's exactly what she did with Fenty. Makeup, lingerie, skincare. She created an empire where she calls the shots. No middlemen, no shady execs, just Rihanna running it all. And then there's that bow-down drama. Still one of the wildest moments in this whole saga. Beyoncé dropped that track like a bomb, demanding everyone bow down. But fans weren't buying it, especially not Rihanna's. They pointed out the double standard. How are you preaching female empowerment while trying to knock down another woman? Rihanna's comeback? Cold and clever. She posted a fire photo, rocking her crown with a caption that hit hard. How'd that feel down there on your knees? No names, no tags, but the message? Crystal clear. It was bold, savage, and unforgettable. A digital mic drop that had the internet shook. But the awkwardness didn't stop there. Jump to the infamous title press conference. It was supposed to be about unity in music, but what fans saw? Tension so thick it could slice glass. Sources backstage spilled the tea. Beyoncé and Rihanna made every effort to stay away from each other. No standing side by side. No words exchanged. Nothing. One insider even said their teams choreographed every move to avoid any contact between the two. What the public saw was all smiles. But behind the scenes, it was cold, calculated silence. And now, the public split. Some still ride for Beyoncé, while others are louder than ever in Rihanna's corner. But one thing's for sure, the fake peace is over. This feud is real, and the whole world's watching it play out in real time. On one side, You've got Beyoncé's diehard fans standing by her no matter what, brushing off Rihanna's claims like they're nothing but noise. But on the flip side, Rihanna's navy is louder than ever, rallying behind her with receipts, support, and that undeniable track record of hers, raw, real, and never fake. But this whole thing, it's bigger than just two music icons going at it. For a lot of people, this is shining a bright light on something way deeper. The power plays and shady silencing tactics that run the entertainment industry behind the scenes. How many artists out there got pushed out, blackballed, or shut down just because they wouldn't fall in line? Rihanna's story cracked that door wide open, and now folks are having convos that should have happened years ago. And here's the kicker. Rihanna might not be the only one who felt the wrath of the so-called royal couple of music. Insiders have whispered for years that other up-and-coming stars saw their dreams crash and burn after things went sideways with Jay-Z and Beyoncé. One name that keeps popping up? Tinashe, a singer-songwriter who once had the whole game thinking she was next up to run the charts. But something shifted, fast. Industry chatter says Tinashe's rise hit a wall after a mysterious fallout with Roc Nation. No direct proof's been dropped yet, but fans aren't blind. They've been pointing out how her momentum just disappeared. And the theory? She got quietly blacklisted. Just like Rihanna claims happened to her. The backlash on social media was instant. People started putting two and two together. Tinashe's vanishing act, the sabotage of ANTI, the awkward shade in lyrics and performances, it all started looking way too calculated, too familiar. And here's where it gets even shadier. Tidal, Jay-Z's own streaming platform, the same one where Rihanna's ANTI mysteriously leaked early, the same one that's been hit with claims of inflated streaming numbers for Beyoncé's Lemonade. Multiple sources have questioned the accuracy of those numbers. But when the owner is also the artist's husband? Yeah, the math ain't mathing. Now people are asking, how many careers were manipulated behind those velvet ropes? And could Rihanna's bold step finally inspire other artists, the ones who've been quiet out of fear, to come forward and spill their truth? And then there's the Life of Pablo situation. More smoke surrounding Tidal. Kanye's album Rollout had its own mess with that platform, and while nothing's ever been fully proven, it added to the image of Tidal being a secretive playground for music's elite. But here's the real question fans keep asking. Why wasn't Rihanna's anti-leak ever addressed properly by Tidal or Roc Nation? Was it just a tech slip-up? Or part of a bigger pattern, where certain artists always seem to get the VIP treatment while others get left in the dust? The silence from behind the scenes only adds fuel to the fire. With no clear answers, fans started connecting dots on their own. And honestly, the picture that's forming isn't pretty. Some say the real climax of this saga didn't happen in a courtroom or a studio, but on that stage at the TIDAL press conference. The tension, the cold stares, the way Beyoncé and Rihanna didn't even acknowledge each other? It spoke volumes. You could feel it in the air even if nobody was talking about it directly. So now we're here, the industry's shook, the fans are split, and the big question still hangs in the air, where do we go from here? Will Beyoncé and Jay-Z finally speak out? Or will their silence just confirm what people already suspect? And what about Diddy, whose name keeps popping up in all the darkest corners of this story? His parties have always been surrounded by whispers, but Rihanna's claims have put him front and center in the storm. Could this be the start of a full-blown reckoning in the entertainment world? As for Rihanna, she's unbothered and unbent. While the drama brews, she's running a billion-dollar empire and living life on her own terms. She doesn't need the music industry's approval. She's way past that. But fans are still holding out hope, hoping she'll return to the studio, hoping her next project might finally say it all. No filters, no censors. Because if there's one thing we do know about Rihanna, it's that she always speaks her truth, loud and clear, So what's next? Will more artists step forward? Will more secrets be exposed? Or will the industry lock its doors and protect its own? Let us know what you think. Drop a comment below, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next wild chapter. We'll catch you on the next one, and trust us, this story is far from over.